What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel for another video from yours truly, man. Now today I want to talk about the newest season of Marvel Rivals that introduced Devil Dino, the newest tank in the game. And I want to give you guys the ultimate beginner's guide. Again, not like a super crazy advanced guide, but for anybody out there that might be thinking about maybe I'll give Dino a shot and just see, is he really good? Is he really fun? What is it about him? You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and give y'all all the guide that you need when it comes to this Dino. So we're gonna go over all of his abilities real quick. I'm gonna just give y'all a quick rundown of them, and I'm gonna just let you know exactly how they work, and then I'm gonna let you know how you can try and combo it. But I'm also give y'all the warnings when it comes to playing this character and what you need to avoid, what you need to look out for, and just all the things you need to know. So first and foremost, we got his bite, regular stuff, right? Y'all see it's slow. It's got a long build up. I mean, damn. You can see it also has bleed, so it'll just constantly tick away at an enemy even off of just one bite. So it is annoying to deal with, especially if you're playing against a dino. So you know what I mean, be careful of that. But that's basically what he got for his one. Then he's got his melee attack, which is him just swinging his tail, y'all. And again, it's crazy because he swings backwards. He doesn't turn around and swing his tail. He's gonna constantly swing it backwards, even here, as y'all can see. That's something you want to be wary of. It's not a move where you can get into that bite and then swing the tail because you like, ooh, it's gonna do double the damage. Nah, you can do it, but it's gonna be a forward attack and a backwards attack. Something else to keep in mind, y'all, when you playing this dino is his attack range is short. This nigga got to be in your face damn near. Y'all see I'm at 5 meters. That's where you gotta be. The second you get outside of that, my damn chomps ain't reaching, and I'm just barely outside of that. Look, barely. Another key thing to keep in mind too when it comes to the bite, if I'm like sitting in between these two, it's not gonna work even though he's like swinging wide, you know what I mean? It's like a random hit. You got to get lucky if you hit somebody with it, even though he's swinging with his jaws. So keep that in mind. It's not just gonna hit because you in the area. You need to kind of really be making sure you looking at him to get that hit. Next thing we need to talk about is his Ray Beam, his Godzilla Blast. This one, y'all see the meter right there. You only got so much of it, so don't just be willy-nilly blasting that shit. But this has got about a 15 meter range on it where you can hit somebody, so that's his range. But again, as y'all can see, the meter is gonna prevent you from just abusing it. But another nice thing about this beam is it also causes bleed. It's not as long of a bleed effect as it is if you was just regular biting them, but you still get it. The next one of his moves is his extra chomps. Y'all see that? It's a faster bite animation than it is when you just doing the regular bite. But the drawback to it is when you using this one, it does not cause bleed. But what's nice about it is if you hit them with a regular bite, maybe even two, and then hit them with your extra chomps, it'll do extra damage because the chomps will do more damage to anybody that is hit by bleed. And again, just for anybody that's curious, let me show you. Bite, and then bang, 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 bang. And then that person should die from bleed more than likely if it's not a tank. But y'all still see the amount of damage that he puts in just from like two regular bites and his chomps. Now, something important to keep in mind too, since we are talking about both of his bites, you are gonna get some overshield from just biting people regularly. You bite somebody and you getting overshield over time. So every tick of bleed is gonna give you a tick of overshield. Now, I tested it. When he does his regular bite, it seems like it caps out at 1050. Now, when he does the bite on top of the extra chomps, he can get a lot more than 1050. So let me go ahead and show y'all what I mean by that. Regular bites, and then we add them chomps up in there. Y'all can see I'm at 1203, 1220, 1240s, and then I'm immediately going down. Like I said, the 1050 is about where it's gonna cap off at, especially if you're just doing the regular bites, not the one that's a continuous bite. Then he got his shield, you know what I'm saying? Self-explanatory. It's a full bubble shield, covers his whole entire body. It does not last forever. It is on a timer, and it has only about 450 health, so keep that in mind. And on top of that, you gotta wait 10 seconds for that shield to come back again so you can use it. But with only 450 health, that ain't nothing. People like Punisher and everybody is gonna burn through that, and I promise you, niggas is looking to burn through it. And then you just down bad because you only got that kind of way to defend yourself with the shield. And if you the only tank on the team, you know what I'm saying? But I'm getting ahead of myself. We getting ahead of the video before I even cover all that. So let's get through the rest of his abilities. We got his leap. And this leap is nice because it is a ground slam. It'll cause bleed. And if the person is already bleeding before you do that, you're gonna go ahead and grab hold of them and you can launch them, quote unquote launch. It don't really launch. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Grab them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a launch in a way, but it ain't a real launch. And you can't launch people like Dino. You can't launch another one. You can't launch the thing. You know what I'm saying? The characters that still can't be kicked and launched up into the air, they still not getting launched very far. But you still can grab them. Now with this jump, I tested it. It's about 20 meters that you can get because he gets like a little head start jump and that'll lead you to him. And if you can get it just right in between the two enemies or however many is there, you can actually do damage to multiple people, not just to one person. But it is a little tricky to get used to and to time it up, but they'll both be hit and take tick damage. And just in case for anybody out there that's like, well, how do I know I'm actually causing bleed? Because there's gonna be so much going on the battlefield, I ain't gonna really be able to know. A good way to tell if you're doing bleed is the stars around Dino. You see them stars floating around me? That's letting you know that you got somebody that's got bleed on them. And then last but certainly not least, we got the ultimate. Now, when you use the ultimate, y'all already see every step that Dino takes, he's ground slamming. And you get movement speed with it, and you just basically are a T-Rex on a rampage, you know what I'm saying? You get to use all your abilities as normal. You still getting all the benefits from the bleed effect, the extra damage to enemies who are getting hit with bleed. You still have your Godzilla dragon breath, you know, and it's just all the things that you were able to do before, just a little bit faster. The one thing I will say about this ultimate though, is it claims that it launches the enemies. I wouldn't say it really is launching them. It is slightly lifting them in the air, which can throw them off and, you know, like make things a little more difficult for them. But I wouldn't really call that a real true launch. But it is still a good way to kind of close the gap on the enemies and push them back some, especially if you're getting healed and you got your shield, which yes, y'all can use the beam and the shield at the same time. You can use your chomp and activate the shield immediately at the same time. You can still jump in the air and use your shield at the same time. There are no real crazy limits to Dino. And you can even go vertical with this launch. You know what I'm saying? So if you just hit your shift and you want to launch into the air, you can dive into a backline with it. It's a lot. You know what I mean? Now, these are the things that I think are truly the most important things to keep in mind when you playing as Dino or against a Dino. I know it feels like you almost invincible, but you really not, bro. Especially when you are as big as Dino is, you're an easy ass target. So if somebody like Moon Knight or Punisher doesn't get banned, they are easily feeding off of you. Star-Lord feeds off of Dino pretty well too, you know what I mean? It's an easy ult build up for him. Even though in the passive it says that Dino doesn't give people extra ult charge up, the fact that you're such a big ass target, people are easily able to get consistent shots off on you and just build their ultimate up over time a lot easier than they would have if they were going up against some of the other tanks that have shield or maybe a little bit more movement to them, you know, things like that. So Dino is an easy target, and because of that, he gets burnt through a lot. I mean, y'all can see the clip. Even if I wasn't playing as Dino and I had teammates, it was really hard to keep him up as a support. It was hard to play around him as a DPS. Now again, he's still very new, so I'm sure there is going to be a better team and comp to run with Dino, but I think a lot of people are still trying to figure that out themselves. So it's easy for you to get just beamed out the way, and it's a little hard for you to kind of play around them corners, even though you should. It's just really hard because you only got your one shield that has a 10-second cooldown and only 450 damage that it can take in. So again, if you're playing Dino as the solo tank, I don't recommend it. I don't think it's impossible to do it. I just don't think it's the most efficient and effective way to go about doing it. I think personally, you're gonna have a harder time trying to win them matches playing Dino as the solo tank, which we all know a lot of the times people are gonna run solo tank. And it's a rare day if you get two. And if you do get two, you might not even get somebody else that's going to complement your playstyle with them. So keep that in mind. But I don't want to just heavily focus on putting out all the negatives. Let's go back and forth a little bit and talk about some of the positives with Dino. One thing that is nice about Dino is when you use your dragon beam, the enemies that are flyers, they slowly start coming down out the sky. You can pull them down and it makes things a little bit easier for you. Now, granted, you do also still need to be wary about the niggas in front of you, but Dino has that ability to pull people people out the air, so that is nice. He can also cancel people's ults if you can get that chomp down right. And I'm talking about the one where you grab him and you launch him back towards your team. If you can time that, you can stop some ultimates. But we also got to talk about the fact that because Dino, once again, is so large, the amount of damage that he is absorbing, it just makes it incredibly hard for your supports to be able to keep you up, especially if teams go about banning characters like Gambit, Rocket, or even Cloak and Dagger. Now, I did hear some people say like, oh, they don't feel like Cloak and Dagger is all that great for helping to heal Dino. I don't fully know. I didn't get to test it out completely, but I know those are some of the easier healers to use. It's a lot of people's go-to healers, and they have a lot more healing that can kind of be thrown out to the entire team rather than just one person. And again, Dino is absorbing so much damn damage that you need all the healing that you can get. So if those healers is taking out the game, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you, because remember, you only got your shield that you gotta wait 10 seconds for after you use it one time with that 450 health, and then after that, you just absorbing the damage. And it makes it challenging for you, bro. Like I said, I don't think Dino is a character that you can solo tank with. At least not right now. Who knows? Things might change. Now, this next thing, I'm telling y'all, you needs to be wary of it. If these niggas bring in a Punisher and or a Moon Knight, I know I said it once, but let me say it twice. If they bring them in and you using Dino Daisy, you gonna be in trouble. I promise you, you just gonna absorb them damn shots. I know other tanks also kind of struggle when it comes to Punisher and everything, but Dino ain't got much to protect himself with. You got a launch that takes 10 seconds to come back. You have a shield that takes 10 seconds to come back. And outside of that, you ain't got no other movement. You ain't got no other way of protecting yourself. And like I said, this nigga too damn big to be in some of them corners, and he's just easily getting mowed down. I'm telling y'all, you see the clips. My man's is getting burnt through fast. But really outside of that, man, I think when it comes to Devil Dino, it really is just going to be more so a learning curve. Learning when to and when not to pop your shield. Really getting a hang of the range that you need to be in, which from the sounds of it, it's more of a heavy brawl meta anyway. So a lot of people are going to be up closer, but you always got to keep in mind, when people start using them poke characters, you know what I mean? What you gonna do then? Maps are really important when it comes to Dino, and then obviously whatever the other team is going up against you with. So if somebody constantly is going hella in the more, you might struggle a little bit more with them DPS. And then at that point, you know what I mean? If they get a Emma up in there, you could really be in trouble. Because Emma in a way is not a full counter to Dino, but she makes a world of a difference. As y'all can see, I decided to go Emma and was like, I don't know. Let me just see if she can even hang with Dino. To my surprise, she really can. She truly can hang with this damn dinosaur. So just imagine that if you got yourself an Emma on the enemy team, you got a Hela, a Punisher, or whoever else they decide to rotate in there with just the 3 supports, it's gonna make it hard for you. So that's why I said, if you can just figure out that learning curve, and again, maybe if somebody is willing to go with another tank that can be a little bit more shieldy and then allow you to be more of that brawler, I think then you'll have a better shot. Because to me, it would be the same thing as I wouldn't go up in there solo dolo with Thor. You know what I mean? That's not the dolo tank. And the last thing that I would say is be cautious to anybody out there that's trying to use Dino as like a dive tank. Because again, he's not like Venom who can get in and get up out of danger. Shit, even Thor can do that a lot better than Dino can because of his hammer. With Dino, like I said, you got that 10-second cooldown on your launch and your shield. And a lot of the times the enemies, the second you get back there, because Dino can just get burnt through so damn fast, they gonna want you to do that so they can have an easier time killing you. I mean, every time a Dino dove us, we had an easier time killing him instead when he was just in the front line with his team, getting the constant heals, getting the support from his DPS that's just constantly doing damage to us to keep us back. But the second they got into that back line without having already gotten a pick or having the excessive amount of heals from like ults and stuff like that, it was curtains for Dino. You should not just be recklessly jumping in the back line attacking with Dino unless you and your team is coordinating something. Like I said, ultimate, you got a pick, you got the healers pretty low, so now you kind of just being a little more aggressive because you like, this is a big play. If I can take one or even both of these damn healers out, now that gives us an advantage in this fight. and then you go from there. But don't recklessly do it. He can't move around like that. And that's it, y'all. I really think that's everything that you need to just get a good beginner's idea of how to use Dino, what he's about, how you could go about playing as him, and the drawbacks to actually playing this character. Like I said, the biggest thing to keep in mind, man, is he's still really new, and there's still a lot to be learned about him. But I think just off rip right now, the advice and tips that I gave y'all for Dino right now is probably going to be your best bet in having the most success with Dino. I mean, every Dino that I played with and or against, and even at times did myself when I played the way that I just explained to y'all, which is more so just staying in the front line, attacking only when it was beneficial to the team, not just trying to be run them down, gun them down by myself, time managing my shields and all of my abilities, not just willy-nilly activating them. All of them things that I had to keep in mind gave me a better shot at playing Dino than when I was just running out there saying, I'm a big ass dinosaur and who gonna stop me? You know what I mean? You got to be careful with it. So I do hope that was helpful again to most of the beginners out there. For any and everybody else that's already probably got hours upon hours on Dino, this might not be for you, but if you got some advice and some helpful tips for everybody else, leave that down in the comment section below. I know people would enjoy it and appreciate it. I would my damn self. So thank you so much for any and everybody that stopped by and watched this, and I look forward to catching you on the next one. Peace and air grease.